welcome to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah, and today I will be doing one video and 5 messages for the following signs: Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and Scorpio. In that order, I will start with Gemini. This is your message for the rest of April. I apologize that I'm doing it late, but I have to start working on the May messages. So I just, with work and with the horses, I've run out of time. So for Gemini, for the rest of April, your first card is Queen of Wands. Your second card is Eight of Cups. So this is very, very interesting. The last card we've got, the Four of Cups. As you know, the month of April has had this energy of transition, and of course I cannot talk about Gemini without letting you know, which I'm sure you already know this, that on April 25th, Uranus will enter Gemini, which will start the 7-year cycle of different changes in your life. And when those changes happen, the divine will also provide incredible moments. The divine always balances things out. So while you'll have some amazing victories, because Uranus is about, revolutionary changes, it will also, kind of create more depth to your character, to your experiences, where you will be able to see things you have not seen up to this point. The Queen of Wands represents your kind of dominant energy. It could also represent someone in your life, their energy that is coming in that's quite confident, in order to inspire you to be confident, in order to remind you to be confident, because you are someone who has stood the test of time and proven that you are able to really be an incredibly unique, productive, and very much needed individual. The Queen of Wands is fire, is very much about confidence and taking action and being bold, and not hesitating, if you will. Don't worry about who likes your confidence or who doesn't. Your job is to just shine bright. I'm hearing the Rihanna's song, Shine Bright, Rihanna's song. That's what I'm hearing in my head right now. People are, going to be very drawn to you. There's something there's like this unspeakable energy emanating from your body, from your aura, that is drawing people in, that is making people feel very comfortable around you, very like they're enjoying being around you. And so, you will find yourself in some high stakes situations where maybe you have to stand and inspire people, or present something, or express your opinion somehow, and your confidence will help with that tremendously. Again, this is where you go deeper than you thought possible in terms of discovering yourself. The universe is helping you, and that's why it's sort of positioning things in your life where you can express your confidence and be seen by others. The Eight of Cups is all about realizing that something you've been working on, that you've been dedicated, that you've been putting in your energy, your time, your effort, But it's something that you realize is not going to bring you the fulfillment, the satisfaction that perhaps you originally wanted, or maybe you just discovered more about it and discovered more about yourself. But sometimes we work on relationships or situations or goals, and then when we make such a big effort, we then realize, wait a minute, I don't know if I want this in my life anymore, or I don't know if this is the direction I should be going forward. And so this is definitely going to bring about new, fresh energy, that is going to feel bittersweet, because the Eight of Cups means there's been a lot of emotional effort that has been put forth, into it. So you might, change your mind about something. You might redirect something in your life and start putting your emotional energy towards something else. You may choose something instead of this, situation, circumstance, relationship that you've been working on, and realize that, that is far more in line with your path, and ultimately will bring you a lot of satisfaction. This is what life is all about. You don't have to finish everything that you start. You are allowed to change your mind. It's all about experiencing. And so I think that the good thing about this spread is, you have great boundaries here. And I think this aligns with your astrology pretty well, in terms of there is a major shift in your reflection. So the way you observe, the way you analyze, the way you understand the meaningfulness in your life is shifting. So it's like, you've learned something. There's been a shift in consciousness. Everything is consciousness, right? At the end of the day, it's just consciousness. There's no difference when it comes to consciousness. Consciousness doesn't have a hierarchy. There's no CEO consciousness. There's no horse consciousnness. There's no human or tree or ladybug or whatever. Consciousness is consciousness, right? And it can be simple, it can be complex, but there is no hierarchy. It is made out of the same thing, and so I think that your consciousness is changing in the month of April, is what I'm trying to say. Especially from today through like the 24th, the sun is going to be, I think the sun enters Taurus today, and I'm a Taurus, so this is really great for us Tauruses. But it moves into the 12th house of rest, so things will be a little bit easier in that regard. You may feel like you are catching up on some things, and not as, like things are not as moving as fast as they were maybe in March or so. But, this will change around the 24th to 25th, because there will be that parade of planets, and I think Uranus is moving into Gemini on the 25th. So definitely there's going to be different energies bursting from various directions as you finish out the month of April. I also think there will be a moment of truth towards the end of April, where you will look at some shadow emotions and do some shadow work, but it's not something that's going to get completed right there and then. It's kind of like going to be more and more being brought to your attention. So you'll see a little shadow work that's coming through. But you're at a level, if you're listening to my messages, you're at a very high level. You're not someone who's going to like run away. You're someone who will be able to deal with it in a consequential sort of way. I do want to say that you want to make sure to ground yourself, because you don't want to experience anxious energy, nervous energy, or jittery type energy. You know, first thing I did this morning, it's a Sunday, was go stand outside on planet Earth with my bare feet and just sit in silence, you know, on the grass with, you know, just staring at trees, listening to birds, and just let my, you know, system regulate, my body just sort of regulated itself, and you know, without hurrying anywhere, without doing anything. You know, I just sat outside and just felt nature. No news, no nothing, you know. And so this is definitely something that is quite important. I dropped the tea leaf cards everywhere. I have to pick them up. But I think this regulating your body is a very, very important thing to do. Remember, your body is something that, you know, super important, because it tells you about regulating energy. So your body is incredibly important in terms of, you got to ground yourself, you got to drink plenty of water, because water is God. It is consciousness. If you drink a glass of water and you think very positively about water, it will help you, because water will provide the healing. Tea leaf cards. We have bread, period of prosperity and abundance. We also have rat, someone working against you behind your back. We also have bow, you are highly thought of. This makes so much sense. When things are working out, moving forward, you know, there's always somebody with low vibrational energy who does not understand, and they allow their thoughts to fall into a trap of jealousy, competition, low vibration, those types of things. Now, Angel and Ancestor Oracle card, we have Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. Shapeshifter is about switching up your energy. That is what shapeshifting is, you know. You see this snake, right? You also see this wolf. You also see the eagle. You know, you have to stay close to the ground, but you also have to be quite resourceful. You know, the wolves are usually very smart. You know, you also have to have a high perspective. Those are different types of energies, and so you are someone who is not like, you know this, right? So shifting your energy is important, and always being aware of how the body feels. What's your body telling you? And remembering about your third eye, sixth chakra. Seeing is believing. You got to see it in order to do something about it. Cosmic womb, the divine feminine. So definitely there is something being born through you, and as a result you got the cosmic womb card, suggesting that you need to make sure to be in touch with your feminine energy, because your feminine energy is very nurturing, very inspiring, and so something is coming into this dimension and is being born through you. So, you know, be aware of that for the rest of April. Energy Oracle cards, we got the Thinking Man. Be aware that your consciousness is changing, and the way you think about things, it's also changing. So you may You may kind of be interested in pursuing something intellectually and learning more about it and gaining more information about it. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Gemini. I will be moving forward to Cancer. I'm going to clear these cards from the table and start working on the Cancer message. Okay, Cancer. Let's see what energy is coming through for you. I just really want to shuffle the cards really well. I notice sometimes when tarot readers, for the videos that I watch, they will not shuffle as well, and so a lot of cards get repeated. I hate when that happens. So I'm like obsessive when it comes to reshuffling the cards. Okay, Cancer. What energy is coming forward for you? We've got Nine of Pentacles. Wonderful energy. We also have the Page of Cups. Really good energy. And the Page of Wands. So you're definitely surrounded by younger type energy. It could also be that you are in the process of learning and discovering and finding out new information, and really kind of putting on a student's hat on your head. The Nine of Pentacles represents, the fact that you are seeing some of your dreams actually materialize. Like you are finding a very good place when it comes to stability in your life, because some of your dreams are coming true when it comes to your financial breakthrough, because sometimes finances are tight, and so the Nine of Pentacles is bringing that kind of thank God moment where you feel like, okay, I'm not as, things are not as dire. Like some things are sort of working out one way or the other. The Nine of Pentacles is helping with that. Now, it's not the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles would be quite fabulous. But the Nine of Pentacles suggests to me you are moving in the right direction. Stability is coming in. As long as you are careful and, try to be aware of budgeting and saving and trying to do the best you can when it comes to making sure that you set quite a lot of money aside. You definitely enjoy some luxury. You definitely enjoy some wonderful, experiences, but it's also important to be smart when it comes to stability. And so, you're being pampered by fate. You're being pampered by the divine for the generosity you have shown other people, because you do hold space for others. Quite often you provide the nurturing that is not received from other signs, and so you as a result, the divine kind of wants to let you know that you are being helped here. The Page of Cups is also, a good news. Pages are generally regarded as messengers, and the Page of Cups definitely says that there's a good message coming your way. It also means that, you will be successful interacting with other people, that your emotions are quite lovely, and people regard them, really positively. You may also feel like there's some kind of a fresh start in your overall circumstances, where fresh energy is coming in and things feel like they're moving towards good things, better things, easier things, and it's not as difficult as perhaps it was about 2 years ago or so. You may get some invitations from, friends or people that you hang out with, to really kind of spend time with them, and because your demeanor, your sparkle is really appreciated by others, and it really brings a smile to their face. Now, the Page of Wands suggests to me that you have some plans in the future, and it's good that you have plans. It's good that you are thinking about things, preparing for things, and it's kind of also a reminder that the planning has to be very specific and as precise as possible, but also the execution part also has to be quite precise, if you will. But overall, this is a positive spread. I don't see any kind of big, huge things happening until the end of April, even though, Uranus does leave Taurus and enter Gemini. This is a very nice period for you, so enjoy it. The spring is in the air. Things are blooming. This renewal energy is coming through. It just brings a really good vibrational energy towards you, Cancer. It's very agreeable energy at this time. Now we have tea leaf cards, Mountain Road. You are on the road to success. So you will see more and more successes coming through. You also have Wishbone. A wish is granted. And one more, we got Flute, disappointment in a friend or a lover. You can't have one thing without the other. So sometimes I think someone may in your life may just kind of throw a comment your way that isn't super supportive, but it's not something that would like surprise you, because I think you're quite aware of who that might be. Now for the Angel and Ancestor Oracle cards, we've got Seer, see beyond the current situation. So the divine here is saying that there's something you're not seeing. Again, clairvoyance is very important because seeing is believing. You have to see it in order to fully understand it, fully comprehend it, fully integrate it into every chakra in your body. Your body has energy centers. Your body has nodes. Your body takes time to process information and experiences and circumstances and really fully integrate them. So using your sixth chakra, third eye, is very important, because when you see it, you're able to change it. You're able to do something about it. You're able to put things in place to make things easier. So the divine here is saying, you have to do something with your sixth chakra. One way, I'm going to get up and grab something. Just 1 second. Okay. I am back. So one way one of the things that you have to do is you have to attach a grounding cord to your body, release all the programming and energy that is not yours. If you are anxious, that is not your energy. If you feel critical of yourself, that is not your energy. Your body is built for success. But a lot of times, like especially when you switch conversations or switch moods, that is not your energy. You got to release a lot every single day to be within your energy, because if you go out into the world, deal with people, I guarantee you pick up energy that is foreign, energy that is not yours. One of the things I've recently been doing, I do a lot of healing with horses, but one of the things I discovered recently was this, and I'm going to show this to you. I'm sure many of you already know this. Sorry, I'm going to mess up the reading or whatever a little bit. But these are called, what are these called? Tuning forks. So one of the things that I do pretty much every single day to clear my energy, come on now, is use a tuning fork. I don't know if you can see it, but this is a tuning fork, and basically I just sort of use this little thing to do this, and I hold it by the end, by this. And then you put this end to any part of your body. Like you can put it on your hand, and you know, I put it usually like around my head, my forehead, and it does clear a lot of energy. So it's kind of like sound healing, you know, but it feels quite different because it's literally making your whole body vibrate, and it clears, it tunes your energy inside your body. And of course, you know, I do a lot of healing with horses, where I will put one hand on my heart, on my chest, and one hand I will put on the middle section of the horse. And I'll just stand there, and the horse will take my toxic energy that is not mine, and then it will go, you know, which is a release. When a horse does that, it releases the energy and stuff like that. So, you know, I do spend a lot of time on various healing techniques and so on and so forth. Let me grab the Shaman's Dream Oracle cards. I will pull one more card, and then I gotta move on to... Okay, one card flew out. Let me see if I can get that card. We have Straddling Worlds, Wandering Between Realms. So this is like... Personally, I feel opinionated about that, but you shouldn't listen to me. That's my opinion, that's my energy. It stays within my body, not your body. But it does look to me like you are in an in-between space. You are in a liminal space. And it's the in-between where you have to master the in-between meetings, in between meals, in between whatever other, you know, things going on, in between appointments, in between stuff, is that space you have to master, because the divine is directing your attention to that for a reason. So you're not doing something, is what I'm saying to you. So you got to figure out what it is that you're not doing. Maybe you need to take a moment to yourself. Maybe you need to tune yourself. Maybe you need to think less and do less. But the in-between is what the divine is bringing to your attention. Okay, next sign, we got Leo. Leo, this is your reading. Let me just shuffle the cards because I don't want any kind of cards repeating. So I do want to over shuffle if possible. Okay, first card we've got is the Hermit. Second card we've got is the Page of Wands. See? It is what it is. The third we got Wheel of Fortune. Interesting. This is a great message. Huh. The Hermit immediately makes me feel like it's you paying attention to the world on the inside that's leading you to success. I feel like in the last probably 5 years, Leo, your life has changed tremendously. You've grown tremendously. You've accomplished tremendously. There's been a lot of different potential that you have realized, but you've also suffered some losses. You've also gone through unfucking believable growth periods where you are a hero and deserve a medal. So the Hermit here is like a privilege card because it suggests how strong you are on the inside. And I don't mean necessarily like strong muscles or strong thinking. I mean, like, the soul is so dedicated and committed and inspired to keep going that you are a seeker of answers and truths and secrets and understandings. And it's not the strength, language can be so that's why the spirit world communicates in images. It doesn't communicate in language because language can be misinterpreted, and the words sometimes we lack. I wish I was Dostoevsky because the way he would describe things would be so much easier. But the Hermit is someone who can lead other people. He is someone who has such vast faith in his own experience, in his own trials and tribulations. It is like the strength that is unexplainable in a way. It is a combination of resilience and experience and knowledge and making mistakes and going forward nonetheless. Definitely, especially for the second part of April, this is kind of like going to make you feel like you may have been like a lone wolf a lot of the time. You may feel like you haven't had the support and you accomplish things on your own through sheer, strength of character, if you will. And so it is the strength of your soul that is so astonishing. But then again, you are a Leo, and you have that ability to withstand what others are unable to withstand. The Page of Wands definitely tells me that there's a lot of excitement towards the future. Even though you've been through a lot, you have not lost your joy for the times ahead. There is still lots of things to look forward to, and so that just again suggests how strong you believe in yourself and the divine, because you keep going and you keep kind of protecting that inner child, that joy that can be so fragile, especially when you go through difficult times in life, or especially if you lose someone from your life that used to be part of your world. And so you may kind of, with the Page of Wands tells me you may do something impulsively. You may decide like, oh, I'm going to try this or try that, or I'm going to go for this or for that, You definitely have a lot of courage, and you're going to succeed as a result of that. Now, the Wheel of Fortune suggests to me that there is a very positive shift that is happening in your life. That's why it's the Wheel of Fortune, not the Wheel of Misfortune. You have your pick of all the wonderful things that are on the wheel, and so it's turning in your favor. Things are going to be easier. The timing is lining up to work out. And we know that Uranus is leaving Gemini on April 25th. So that suggests that some of the things in your life are going to change because of that. you should look at your free birth chart and find out where you've got Gemini, where you've got Uranus, and see if you can kind of interpret how that will go for you for the next 7 years. But the next 7 years, you know, things will change when it comes to your social circle. So that's important to remember. Now, you may feel, you may find that towards the end of April, there's some kind of like a meeting that happens, an introduction, or some kind of an invite that definitely creates a nice surprise for you. But you will feel like your reputation is increasing because you have stood the test of time and you continue to move forward. So Leo, there's definitely a lot to look forward to in that respect. Now let's see what the tea leaf cards can tell us. We've got gavel, involvement with the law. We also have rooster, an arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. And you also have target, a goal-oriented person. Involvement with the law can be anything. It could be like a signing of a non-disclosure agreement or a loan agreement, or, you know, it really could be quite a lot of different things. When it comes to the rooster, I think you already know who that might be, so it's important to be aware of that person and to kind of protect your energy as you move forward. You know, your energy, you can't spend it on every single person. Shaman, angel and ancestor oracle card, trust in higher forces. Know that things are working out as they are supposed to, and everything will be done in divine timing. And it will make sense once things come about. But the divine timing here is at play because you do have the Wheel of Fortune. So the destiny is changing in your favor. Shaman's Dream Oracle card, we've got Me Talks, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Take a day, take two, you know, check out. You don't have to always be at work. You can call in sick maybe a couple of days and do some things that are just for you. Okay, thank you so much. I will be moving forward to Virgo. Virgo, let us see what messages we can find for you, what messages come through for you. I'm going to shuffle the tarot cards. Hopefully they will stop flying out of my hands. Virgo. Oops. Just making a mess over here. Okay. One more shuffle, just because I really want to make sure they're shuffled really well. Wheel of Fortune, this is really good. We have Nine of Pentacles. And the last card we've got is the Four of Pentacles. Stability is coming in. Your fortune is changing. Things are looking up for you, Virgo. I think this is a really wonderful time because you're also an earth sign and sun just entered Taurus. So things are calm, wonderful. Enjoy the spring. Enjoy all the colors that are coming into bloom. You know, have some gatherings with your friends. Go to an event. Enjoy seeing others and being seen by others. This is a very blissful, lucky, very positive time for you. The Wheel of Fortune is suggesting to me that there's some kind of a lucky break that is coming about, some kind of circumstances that work out in your favor. It could be in your personal life, it could be in your professional life, but the Wheel of Fortune is a major arcana card, and it is a omen of good things that are coming through the end of April. And I think that, Uranus leaving Uranus leaving Taurus is going to be really beneficial for you, because you'll see a lot more stability coming in. There is a parade of planets happening as well, so a lot of beginnings happening. I think that it's important for you to ground yourself as much as you can possibly ground yourself. With the Nine of Pentacles, this is a really good card, suggesting that you will really find pleasure in your day-to-day activities. You will feel like things are moving at a pace that gives you like a really good feeling, good energy. You'll feel like you are independent, self-sufficient, like you're really kind of enjoying life as it should be, if you will. A part of you does have plans for the future. You may feel like maybe more resources are required because, the times are a little bit unstable and unpredictable. And so you may feel like you need to stock up and shore up when it comes to your resources. So this is the time to really prepare, because things are on the lower timeline, things are not going so well. And so, you may want to plant things. This is a good time to plant things. You may want to think ahead and, try to do your best when it comes to taking care of things at home, so that you have enough, things if you need them. Tea leaf cards, we've got Dragon, beware of self-delusion. We also have Flowers, happiness. And then last card, we've got Rainbow. The most difficult part of a situation is over. So, only good things are coming into view now. The self-delusion, we're all delusional to some degree. It's important to remember that life can be challenging, and so it takes us a lifetime to figure out, what the world really is all about. Now, for the Angel and Ancestor Oracle card, we've got Snake, shed old skin. Make sure to release what no longer works for you. Release your old identity. Release things you used to do. Release thoughts you used to have. Release and let go. And then you're going to be like, well, if I release everything, I won't have anything left. Well, that is a problem. That is a real thing. It's a real thing. When you deprogram, they teach us in the psychic school, when you deprogram too much, all of a sudden you realize, shit, I got a white canvas with nothing on it. What do I do now? I've identified with trauma and programming for so long, and now that I've healed and released, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what to do. What do I like? What do I hate? What, hello, so that is definitely a real thing. Now, Shaman's Dream Oracle card, we've got Beloved, radical acceptance. So if you are able to accept yourself radically, you're able to accept others radically. If you're unable to accept yourself radically, you're unable to accept others. Are you able to radically forgive yourself? If you're not able to radically forgive yourself, you cannot do it with others, and so on and so forth. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'm moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio, we finally have arrived at your sign. Let's see what messages come through for you. Scorpio, I hope you get really great cards. I hope that for everyone. Every time I pull a card, I'm like, please be a good card. Please be a good card. Okay. I got to shuffle. I have got to do a better job shuffling. Okay, let's pull 3 cards. We have Six of Pentacles. Good. I think this is going to make you feel really great. 8 of Pentacles. You got your work cut out for you for sure. And then last card we have 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. So you may feel like you are creating this stability, you're working on something, and you have plenty of resources. But the 5 of Pentacles tells me that you feel alone. This card has nothing to do with stability or resources. It's got to do with you not feeling like there's support that you need, like you feel that a lot of things emotionally and strategically you sort of handle on your own, whereas with the 6 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, it tells me that, you know, you've been focusing on your work, you've been squaring away your nuts, you've been doing a lot of wonderful, good, strong, you know, things to create a lot of stability for yourself. But you also feel like you are the only one that's been doing it. You also feel like, you know, maybe other people don't understand your point of view or find you disagreeable in some way, but you'll feel like there's not necessarily like a lot of support, and I think it's because this card is rather transactional. The 6 of Pentacles is about give and take. Hey, I'm going to give you this if you give me that. That's a very transactional type of relationship, and people know it, right? If people also know when you give somebody just give things away without getting anything back, right? A lot of times people feel bad doing that because everybody wants something in return. And so I think this is why you have the 5 of Pentacles here, is because there is some thinking that you still have to change when it comes to the way you approach things. When it comes to your perspective, there's still some realizations that you must have in order to reach that depth that will kind of blow up your life with all the wonderful things. So you're on your way to that consciousness, that new level of consciousness, but you're not quite there yet. And this is why you have the 5 of Pentacles. It's got more to do with your consciousness than coins in your bag. It's got nothing to do with coins in your bag. It's this feeling of, you know, that you are in need of more maybe validation, acknowledgement, support, one of those things, you know, and not feel like you are doing something wrong when you focus on practical things. So there's still a little bit of work, you know, to be done there. Now for the tea leaf cards, we've got Heart, love, deep affection, and caring. You are very much loved. I can promise you that. Kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. I think this gives you some anxiety again. Anxiety is not your energy. And then the last card we have is the month of February. So be aware when and prepared for next February, because there will be some major events that will be taking place. Trust me, 2027 is going to be a very eventful year. Now, Angel and Ancestor Oracle card, we've got Druid, hold the space. So holding the space means you're not to take action. You are to just be within that space. Hold the space means don't judge, don't compete, don't talk, don't criticize, don't you just are. When you hold the space, you just are. You don't need to do anything, you don't need to be anything, you just are. And as long as you're able to hold the space within your life, you will be able to be successful. Shaman's Dream Oracle card, we've got closing door completion. Yeah, so there is some kind of something that you have decided to release. And it, it's been a long time coming. It's been a decision that you've been thinking about for quite a while, and it's something that you feel pretty convicted on, and I think that it will be good for you, because you will stop feeding your energy towards that, and you will find new joy because you'll give your energy to something new. Now, for the Angel Oracle cards, we've got romance. Again, romance comes in different shapes and sizes. It can be, it can take many different forms. It's not just between, this person and this person. It can be a romantic evening watching a movie, or romantic stroll through a park. It's that type of energy that's coming in, which I think is very tied closely with spring. There's something very romantic about spring. You go outside and you see the flowers blooming, you see all these trees coming in, the leaves and all of that. It just feels like there's romance in the air, whether you have a counterpart or not. Romance is just in the air. It's all around you. It's everywhere, and so you are experiencing that energy. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you in May.